Hello, ladies of Facebook and anywhere else, Twitter, Instagram. This is Katie Huff Ministries with Katie Huff, the CEO. I have the pleasure of having Susan Marie Almquist, who has been participating in the women's retreat in Montana every year for 15 years. And I thought she could give you an amazing testimony of what this retreat is all about. So Susan Marie, you want to introduce yourself and what you find awesome about the women's retreat?
I am happy to. Katie, thank you for the invitation. And I mean, really, I'll never forget meeting you there at the women's retreat originally at the beginning of our 15-year ago friendship and experience at the women's retreat on a hike. I just remember you were leading and you still do this, I know, as part of the retreat. You lead like nature walks or a little bit of a hike. And I could feel your passion for what you do. And there is something about the women's retreat being in Montana that just really grounds you in this special place that I just feel like I don't have that experience anywhere else in my life. I mean, I do special things with my family or with my business, but there's something really that fuels my soul, I feel like, to be at these retreats. And that's why I keep coming back again and again. And I tell you what, any woman that's out there that's thinking about it, if you want, I could speak to what I would say to them to encourage them.
Absolutely. That would be awesome.
Well, because part of what I've seen happen is that sometimes we need a different kind of support towards the things that we aspire to in our lives. And it's hard to find that sometimes. I mean, you might do goal setting in a business context, or you might have plans with your spouse or your family, and that's beautiful. But there's this synergy that comes by being together with women that are there really at this like soul level to support kind of like who we are as women and being the best that we can be in our lives. And I've seen women leave the retreat and hit goals faster than they ever had before. And then we celebrate that together. And there's even a little bit of voluntary accountability that comes amidst this group, if that's okay with you and you want that kind of thing. Although there's also a lot of downtime and relaxation, and because we're at hot springs, so there's a great escape, amazing food. But it's mainly this bond that happens among us as women that support us in really unique and powerful ways. I just think we can see each other differently than others tend to see us in life.
Yeah, and I can't agree more. And I would also say to your examples and to your testimonies of the location that we have it in is in Prairie, Montana, in Paradise Valley, in Chico Hot Springs. And I always like to put that little ticker slogan in there because of the fact that that's named for a reason. It is absolutely the most majestic place, I believe, even in the state of Montana. And I think Montana is probably one of the prettiest states here. But what would you like to talk to that a little bit? Because I remember you saying some of the things like the snow coming down and the hot springs, and when you come over that mountain, and I don't want to steal your thunder, so I'll let you share that.
Well, there were a couple of times over the years, as you know, where we had to have it in other locations. And we tried some other locations. We even did a cruise ship one time, and you'd think that that'd be really special, but we always came back to Chico Hot Springs because Paradise Valley, and that is named for a reason, as well as Prairie. There is a majesty around this area that you feel. I mean, I actually feel it on the way there. Like you feel yourself kind of letting your guard down, feeling more connected with the majesty of this earth that we are on, and the hot springs. Oh my gosh, at this time of year, because we always do it at the time in the fall. So the foliage is just spectacular. And if you're lucky, we'll get a little bit of snow, not so much that it impedes in our travel plans, but just enough to add to kind of this pristine environment that just, again, fuels your ability to let your guard down and make the connections, get the support and the love that will help you just get what you're looking for.
Awesome. So what have you personally experienced from attending these retreats? Emotionally, spiritually, physically, financially, career-wise? Because I've witnessed huge breakthroughs through your journey of coming in the last 15 years. And I would just love for you to speak to how you feel that, how your growth through this process and where you are today.
Well, I think the first one that was apparent because a lot of us had come together from a work environment, and there was a whole slew of us that achieved different benchmarks, and we're able to celebrate that together. And who'd have thought, because it's not a traditional, like, we're not there learning about business, although there are some times where we talk about finances because that's part of the whole person, but it did show up that way. So it's shown up in a new benchmark in finance in my business life. It's also shown up in a level of being able to find the love of my life, who just walked in the door. Actually, I can hear, he might be hearing me right now. And I feel like, I don't know that I could have been the person to attract that kind of person in my life, really, without the support of the women's retreat, so that I can come as a whole person to this other person that we are now sharing the rest of our lives together. And so on a finance level, on a personal level, it's allowed me for my 2 daughters, and I have a beautiful blended family of 6 kids between us with my husband and I, but to be able to share for my daughters, them to have the ability to see what's possible in life. And they know what a difference the retreat has made for me in that way. And actually, I look forward to including them in future retreats. And just kind of this whole being, I'll close with that, Katie, because I think it's also fueled a piece about maybe self-image, I might describe it that way, because there's a lot of affirmation in the kind of environment, the kind of tone really that you set at these retreats that allow women to, and myself, to just grow to love myself, even in this image of how I present in the world, in a non-judgmental, unconditionally loved way.
Yes,
So
it's beautiful.
been-
And it has been an absolute blessing for me to be with you through this process and seeing all of the milestones that you have accomplished. And what a great blessing to be able to experience you walking out all that you were called to be. Your own purpose and your passion comes out. And I've just really been honored to witness that and be a part of the women's retreat. And so we, as speakers of this retreat, are wanting to reach out to all you women that would listen to this and encourage you to take a look at the website, which is katy-huff.com. You can see on there the destination retreat, which is in Chico Hot Springs. You can also find us on Eventbrite. You can find us on Facebook. We're everywhere because we don't want to leave anyone out. So it is October 28th through the 31st, and you can learn more about that on our sites. And so I just thank you, Susan Marie, for your testimony of what we love to do to just encourage and empower women to be, do, and have all that they were created to be. So thank you.
My pleasure.